the idea of a 10-player raid like Karazhan or Zulaman was a novel experience to let you have a more intimate, shared, romp through a dungeon, through a raid adventure with a smaller group of your friends. That's what Megadungeons try to do. They try to give an experience that is raid-like, that you can just take with a smaller group of friends that you couldn't raid with normally. It's an experience that can span hours. You have bosses that have progression and a setting that is just epic. As cool as our dungeons are, places like Karazhan or Operation Mechagon or the upcoming Broker Dungeon just blow them away. And so I think that is where the spirit of 10-player content lives on today.
I actually think Ian's bang on there, and the reason why I decided to pause and do a bit of comment on this, I actually wanted to call up Destiny 2's launch raid. I've only done a few bosses in Destiny 2. Me and Matt did that one together, and it's the different types of content are enabled when you have a smaller, more intimate experience, and for me, it is the dogs. There is this boss in D2 where you're dealing with these dogs, and they can sniff you out and stuff. And it would not work with 15 people.
Not a chance.
It would be chaos and awful. Yeah. But the way that it ended up playing in Destiny was so good.
Yeah.
And the amount that they were able to make just an incredible experience that only could have worked with a low player count and still felt like a big raid. Yeah. So actually, to me, this is like a rallying cry to do more mega dungeons.
Yes.
And actually, Ian touches on a really big change in the game there, where we do not have that traditional dungeon experience as much in M+, because M+ then gives you that timer and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think about what I really want from a dungeon, and it is, now that we're in a really good, solid raid team, it is taking some of those people, going to the Broker Dungeon, and maybe doing it on the hard mode. Because I think there is like per boss hard modes like there was in Mechagon.
Yes, they've announced some intent there.
Yeah. I mean, personally, if the entire game was that and Mythic Plus didn't exist, I would be happier. But I know a lot of people, love M+, love the MTI and all that stuff, so fair enough to them. But yeah, if anything, Ian saying that just makes me think, what I want is more Mega Dungeons. They are great.
FF14 is a good one to talk about here, because it splits parties into 4 by default. So you'll go into a dungeon, and it'll be two DPS healer tank.
Right.
Then you go up to that's a light party, it's called. Then a full party is 8. So trials will be full parties, and those are single bosses. Those are single bosses that are basically raid bosses. They have a number of phases. They're only a couple minutes long, but they're just these these big story elements you fight. They're very, very fun. 8 players, kind of bounded. And then you have like the full raids, which are alliances, which is 2 full parties, so you have 16 players.
Right.
And Destiny kind of gets that splitting effect because of the 6 players.
Yeah.
We went into 6. It was 3. It was like team 1 was 3, team 2 was 3. Yeah. And that was always solid. But FF kind of has that thing where it has this tiered content of different sizes for different party sizes, different things like that. But it's all specific content for that size, as opposed to flex, which works, but
yeah, I think what I've learned is I need to play TBC, and I also need to play Final Fantasy 14.
Yes.
And I also need to hold down everything else.
Yep.
So that might be impossible.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
But yeah, okay. Good shit. My level of excitement for this new Mega Dungeon only increases.
Yep, absolutely.